Nokia, once known for being terribly mishandled by Microsoft, and before that the choice of phone for pretty much the world, is of course back, and it's HMD Global that's got the license for making its devices, and since taking over it's used Android. And on this year's phones, 2018's Nokia phones, they use Android One. If you're not familiar with Android One, it's basically stock Android. That's no user interfaces or terrible bloatware. This is the Nokia 7 Plus, and it could just be one of the bargains of the year, because in the UK this is £350. That's sort of less than $500 if you're in the US. There's no US release date yet though. So you need to take a look at this because we really rather like it. Now we've left it in the box for now because inside the box there's a handy surprise, which, to be honest, more phone manufacturers would be wise to do, and that's include a very ordinary, totally see-through case. And it's nice to have it see-through because the Nokia 7 Plus is actually very good looking. We're going to use this box for something else in a second, so we're going to leave it there and get rid of these things. This is the 7 Plus. It's a 6-inch screen on the front, and that's a Full HD resolution. Full HD Plus, because this is an 18:9 aspect ratio screen, so you get small bezels around the edge and slightly larger bezels at the top and the bottom. They're not intrusive, but you do get that lovely sort of wide screen effect when you use the phone in landscape. And you do get in fact, a stunning screen on the 7 Plus. Just take a look at some of the pictures that we've taken on here. For example, this one in New York, you can really see how the colours in this part pop off the screen, and certainly up here as well. It looks great. Even though, we'll talk about the camera shortly, you can see how great the screen looks in this situation, and that goes for watching video too. Video is extremely good on the 7 Plus. So that's the screen, a really good one that you get on this reasonably priced phone. It's the camera itself. There's 2 lenses on the back, and this will take those blurred background bokeh shots, which pretty much we see on most phones today, except it doesn't yet. Now we're hoping that Nokia fixes this, because we go into the camera mode here and you open up the menu and you select live bokeh mode. It sometimes will not recognize it, and you'll get this message that says too near, and in our experience it doesn't matter how far you pull back, it's always too near. So we think this is a software issue, and we're hoping that a software update will fix this. The real special feature on the Nokia 7 Plus's camera and several other Nokia phones is something called a Bokeh. And the Bokeh uses the front camera and the rear camera at the same time, and then creates a photograph made up of the 2 images. It's actually called dual sight in the camera menu, but most people know the finished product as a Bokeh. It's really easy to use. It's just with a tap of those 2 buttons at the top, and you get this effect of the top section of the screen here being one set, the rear camera, and this bit here being the front camera. It's actually surprisingly fun, and we've taken a few Bokehs during our time with the phone, and here's one of me drinking Starbucks in New York, and you can see that you get the surroundings and you get you in the picture too. Interestingly, the Bokeh can be used for stills and for video, and you can use it for live video, so you could stream whatever you're doing directly to YouTube or Facebook. Surprisingly good fun. It's a feature you definitely want to try out if you get a Nokia 7 Plus or any of the other Nokia Bokeh phones. Now, because the 7 Plus runs Android One, you get Google's software updates, and you get them on a timely basis, not a year after they've been announced, like we'll see with some other manufacturers. We've got the June 2018 Android security update on this, and that came through within 10 days of June, so that replaced the May update. And seeing as we've used some other phones recently that are brand new and didn't even have the May update, they had the March update installed, it's a really big benefit. And that same goes for the fact that all of this is pretty much standard Android. It's really lovely to use, and because it's clean, it's very sensible, it's very easy, it's very fast. And we really like the user experience on the Nokia 7 Plus. And Android One is a huge selling point, and definitely one of the reasons we'd recommend the phone. While we're looking at the body here, you can see this one's got this unusual copper colour around the edge. The body itself is aluminium, and on the rear it's a ceramic coating on here. It feels very smooth. It's not like glass, there is something different to it. And it's not super fingerprinty either, which is a really nice change from many of the glass-bodied phones we've seen recently. Despite the 6-inch screen, you can see it fits really nicely in my hand, and these flat sides are easy to grip. This doesn't feel like something is going to slip out of my hands. And if we have a close look at the edges here, you can see they've been chamfered really very nicely. And this aids in comfort, because if there was a sharp drop off from those flat sides, it wouldn't be anywhere near as comfortable to hold. But Nokia's really thought about this. It's a very, very pleasant phone to hold. In terms of power, you're going to get a Snapdragon 660 processor with 4 GB of RAM. So it's not a flagship phone, but there's plenty of power for most people under most circumstances. The only thing that we're not that impressed with is the battery life, which is a bit of a surprise because inside there's a 3800 milliamp hour battery, and that should give plenty of standby time. However, we're getting a day and a little bit over a day out of this, and that's less than what Nokia says with a 2-day standby. We're not getting anywhere near that. Again, this could be a software optimization issue in the same way that the camera seems to have a few problems. So hopefully that's going to be fixed in a software update too. But for now, don't expect to get a 2-day life out of this. With light to regular use, you'll get a day and a bit in our experience. Heavy use, you're going to get a day, and that's not great considering the size and capacity of the battery inside. But all of these little things, they do fall away a little bit when you understand that this is £350 for the phone. It's extremely good value because not only is it actually quite attractive, you've got this lovely copper colour around the fingerprint sensor there, it's nice and minimal on the back, and as we've said, it's lovely and comfortable to hold. Not just that, but you're getting plenty of power, you're getting Android One, you're getting all those software updates. The camera outside of the bokeh mode actually takes really good photos. And it's a great phone for that money. We've been using this for a while, and hopefully we'll see those little fixes come in soon. But at this stage, we're going to recommend you take a really close look at the Nokia 7 Plus.